time to induct the third laureate of 2024, and to help us do that, please welcome to the stage Timothy Crooks, Executive Director of Phoenix Youth Programs.
Well, what a fabulous evening. So let me start by just saying a huge congratulations to the laureates. To celebrate you and to take a moment of pause to do so is really, really important, and I think just as fun for us as it might be for all of you. So huge congrats to the laureates. Huge congratulations also to JA. What a beautiful and important event, and so wonderfully executed. So again, thanks for letting me be a small part of it tonight. I have the great honor of introducing Bill Black. Now, if you know Bill, you know he's a man of great passion. Sometimes, whether you want him to be or not, he is a man of great passion. There is a stacking order to those passions, and so we know that first and foremost, his family, way above and beyond, ranks number one as his place of passion, of love, and of adoration. That's without question. Tied maybe for a little bit of a distant second and third is his passion for business, smart, healthy, impactful business. There's nobody who I know who can retain numbers like Bill can retain them. But beyond that is a passion and a love and an affinity for community. Not only is Bill driven by a moral imperative under the belief that we can all make a significant contribution to the health and the well-being of the communities, of the broad neighborhoods, of the places that we call home, whether that's regional or national or beyond. So that passion has played itself out in just immense and beautiful ways. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't talk in equal measure about his passion and his ability for great business, and his passion and his belief in community and making personal contributions that create environments in which not only business and commerce can thrive, but we can thrive as individuals. How important is that? Now, wherever Bill has gone, you will find Lorraine. And wherever Lorraine has gone, you will find Bill. They have been the most beautiful partnership through all of the years. That's been deeply touching to me, and I know to many of you in the ways that they have touched your lives. Bill's passions have become a family affair. And so now the family continues on with impact and legacy. And through the Family Foundation, impact is real. And I'll tell you at Phoenix, we feel it on a daily basis as one of the many, many groups who have been so fortunate to receive that generosity. I've been with Bill in maybe some unexpected places, on retreat, to Sunday school, and deep into conversations over 30 plus years, the privileged amount of time that I've had to know and be connected with Bill, in animated conversations that have covered a wide range of topics, but have always left me deep in thought, wanting to do better, and wanting to understand how I too can make the scale of contribution that Bill and Lorraine and family continue to make. So Bill, on a very personal note, for 30 plus years of friendship and connection and support, I offer a huge and heartfelt thanks, and what a complete honor to now talk about the reason we are here tonight. After 34 years at Maritime Life, Bill's contributions to the business community led to his sitting on several boards, including as chairman as the Halifax Chamber of Commerce in 1995, as chair designate of the Capital Markets Regulatory Authority, and spending 7 years on the Bank of Canada board, including 2 as lead director. Bill chaired the panel reviewing pension legislation and regulation in the province of Nova Scotia in 2008, served on the board of Nova Scotia Business Inc., and remains a longtime mentor of the board, a member of the board of the Shaw Group, a Halifax-based resource and property development company. Bill has been a leading advocate for better public policy and often tackles complex matters that require extensive research, such as the pension reform and UARB submissions from Nova Scotia Power. And in 2015, Bill was named a member of the Order of Canada, being recognized for his achievements in business and in the community, and continues to share his extensive experience as a keynote speaker, both as CEO and in community life. Please join me in welcoming Bill Black to the stage.
Tim is an old friend and a great servant to the community, and I'm honored to be introduced by him. I'm honored to be chosen for this inauguration. And I want to thank the committee that recommended me for this. And I'm very thankful to the thousands of wonderful employees that we had at Maritime Life, because it was a fun and exciting place to work. And their candid feedback to me, and we had a system of giving candid feedback in every direction, they became who I became as a leader. I joined the company full-time in 1970, and it was the only full-time job I've ever had, which in a way is a good thing. I became a vice president in 1975, and you know, in the business world, there are always things that are sort of trendy at various different times. And in the early 90s, the trendy thing that businesses were worrying about was quality. So eventually, I thought about this for a long time, and in December of that year, just before Christmas, I sent them a letter, and I said, we're going to get together on January, about the 10th of January. Here are some questions I want you to answer. And I want you to write out the answer and come into the room, and the top, whatever it was, 12 or so people that we had, I said, come into the room with what you have to say, and then we're going to go through this. And the first question in that list, and turned out to be the most important one, was, what is it, besides making money, and making money is important, but besides making money, what is it you want to get out of your job? We eventually involved the whole company in this thing, and we ended up producing a set of value statements that basically at the end of May we had it done. We had 22 sentences, about 259 words, that said what we wanted to be as a company, about how we wanted to work and live together as an organization. And it really made a difference to everything else that we wanted to do. Our motto, actually, that we had at the bottom of those statements was, if it's good for your customer and you know it makes sense, then do it. So in other words, you know, don't be too constrained by the rules. If you know something makes sense, do that right for the customer. I was on a lot of boards, and just a partial list would be Dalhousie, Symphony Nova Scotia, Bank of Canada, Standard Life, Global Risk Institute, Shaw Group, a bunch of other ones like that, which I was glad to be doing. For 14 years, I did seminars on leadership because I believed I had some ideas that were worth sharing. So I was glad to do that, and we did it for 14 years. And I think probably something over 300 people went through that program, and they were all pretty senior people when they began at that. They were, looking at learning more from what they would do. And the other thing that I did was start writing newspaper columns, which is a lot of fun and sometimes takes a lot of time. And it's a privilege of being able to sound off in the newspaper every Saturday when you want to. It's very therapeutic, actually. So, anyway, that's my story. I want to thank everybody here for being here, for supporting junior achievement. Thank you for the recognition that we've had this evening, and thank you.